How's everybody doing? Good. We're going to overcome patient objections. I think this talk was thrown into the sort of section on keeping a happy group of patients, even though it's a little bit of a sales topic, a little bit of a patient consultant doctor topic, because when we're overcoming objections well, we do minimize sort of the negative feedback and flack that any doctor can take, and any practice can take. And so I am going to really focus on what the topic is, which is how do we overcome these objections, and I think it's rather apparent how that will help overall. A real brief background for those who have not heard the other few talks here. Basically all we do is hire, train, and oversee practice managers and salespeople. That's what we do. We all began as them. The entire executive team consists of either a facial plastic surgeon or people who have consistently sold $3 million or more a year as patient advisors or practice managers. Everything that we're teaching, we've tested. We know it works, or it's coming from a textbook. So let's talk about objections. Can you define an objection for me? I didn't quite hear. You got to scream it out.
Cost.
Cost? Cost is an objection. Who can define what an objection is?
Stopping point.
Stopping point is. Someone said something else? You get an objection from a patient. What is it? There are a few different examples. The surgery is too expensive. A lot of people have trouble really defining exactly what an objection is. I'm sorry?
Buying signal.
A buying signal. So that's a positive spin. I like that. It's a buying signal. The way we define an objection, most people usually think of the objection as the no. I object. No. I'm not going to buy. And most patients start off with a million objections. Before they've called you, they've got an objection, which is, I don't even know if this person is board certified. I don't know if this person has graduated college. I don't know if this website is legitimate. And then obviously through research and time, they start to answer their objection. We define an objection as an answerable reason why not. The only objection that you cannot overcome is no. And no really isn't the objection. It's the thing after no that's the objection. So for example, if someone said to you, hi, would you like to buy? No. Why? No. No reason? No. Just because? No. If that's all they said, we really couldn't overcome that issue because they said no. And in fact, smart people, when you don't want something for sure, you just say no, because no means no. We're taught that in a lot of different situations. But every other time we say something, we say no because. And that because is your objection. It's the answerable reason why not. So what they're saying is if you can overcome this reason that I'm giving you, then I'll go ahead and purchase. In other words, I use a dating analogy. Ladies, those of you who are single, a nice man comes up to you, asks you on a date, and you say no because you're smelly. What is the objection? You're smelly. You didn't shower, you came straight from the gym. Well, there's a couple of different ways to handle that objection. One way is to say, okay, I'm just on the way back from LA Fitness here. I'm going to shower up, put some nice cologne on, put some nice threads on, and I'm going to re-ask you. That's a way to overcome the objection. Now, obviously, even better is to never what? Never start off smelly. Don't ask until, in other words, handle the objection before it comes up. So what we really believe with our patients is that there are only fundamentally two objections that exist. One is a money-based objection. Either they don't have the money, or they're not sure if they want to spend the money, something related to money, or some sort of fear-based thing related to the surgery, which is, so you're going to cut my face open, blood's going to pour out, I may die. Well, it's not quite that dangerous, but yeah, there's some sort of fear-based thing going on. Now, there are dozens and hundreds of other objections that we call the cloud. The cloud is what obscures the real objection, the sun behind the clouds. So, for example, let's go back to our dating analogy. Ladies, have you ever needed to reject a young man or an older man, and you didn't really want to say the truth? What objections have we created that are a little bit different than the truth? What is our little cloud objection? Would you like to go out Friday? No, because why? I'm a little busy already. I'm busy. What else, ladies? Or gentlemen? I think a famous one is, I've already got a boyfriend. You don't have a boyfriend. But you you told that guy you did because he was creepy. The real objection is you're creepy. So what we're trying to do with our patients, because patients feel the same way. They think we don't want the truth. They think that maybe if I'm just nice to the doctor or nice to their patient coordinator and say, well, you know, I really have to check with my husband first, you know. I think you can understand. They think that's what we want to hear. What we want is the truth, right? We got thick skin. Just tell us you don't have the money, you need care credit, or you'll never proceed ever. But they don't really say that to us. So it always comes down to money or fear. Our job is to work through the cloud objections to get past them to the real issue at hand, the real cloud. So here are some cloud objections. Once in a great while, they might be true, but more often than not, they're not. It really just comes down to money or fear. I want to talk to my husband. Why do they want to talk to their husband? Because of either money or a fear of surgery. They're like, I didn't actually talk to him about this and it's expensive, so it's a money thing. Or I got to talk with him because, man, I am scared because you're going to cut my face open, and I don't know if I want you to do that yet. I want to think about it. Well, of course you do. Everybody wants to think about everything. What does it even mean? Will you marry me? I'm going to think about it. That's a no. There's something behind that cloud. That is not a yes. There's something going on that's wrong. My time frame has changed. Why has your time frame changed? Because I am extremely afraid, or I don't have any money, or I need to figure out how to get the money, or come to terms with the fact that my bank account has it, but I'm not 100% sure if I actually want to write the check because then I'll have some sort of like a little bit less money and that might make me stressed. I have another appointment. I want to do a bit more research. I need to get financed. I'll say because I don't believe in payment plans. I don't believe in payment plans. I guess it's something that we've all been taught to say by our parents. I was raised to say it. Well, you know, it's just not something that, you know, I do. The Hoffenbergs as a clan. Since the day of the Great War, we've always been against payment plans. We're not against payment plans. Nobody has solved your objection. No one has helped you understand why a no-interest payment plan can be good. I went and bought 2 TVs like 7 years ago at one of the Best Buys or one of those. I took out my credit card, handed it to them to pay it, and they said, by the way, do you want 2 years no interest? I'm like, you're just giving me money? Sure. Sure, I've got the money in the bank, but maybe I'll make a little interest in the meantime, and then the economy crashed and I lost a bunch of money. So it goes. My credit's not great, can I get a discount? Can I have a lower quote? All these different things are the objections we're dealing with. These might be the top 10 or so, but there's 1,000 of them. We come up with amazing ones every day. Anybody have like a gem they just love sharing? It's like that. Anybody here play poker? So they call it bad beat story. You wouldn't believe a deuce of clubs comes on the river. And you guys have a million of these objections that patients have given you. Well, this is where we can run into trouble. We want to solve the problem. We want to handle the objection. We want to overcome it. But the whole topic of this section, the reason the room has this many people in it, is because you also want to hear from different speakers on a variety of topics on how not to upset people, how to keep your reputation good, how to make sure you don't get those negative reviews. You don't want to be called pressury or pushy or rude or whatever, but you still got to make money and get these people to book with you, because if they don't, they're going to go to someone else who isn't as good as you. They're going to ruin their life, and then it's your fault. So the first thing I'm going to teach you guys is how to master the objection cycle. So we're talking about the psychology behind what's going on in the person's brain. The next question is how to actually use this. And what I believe in every talk that I ever give, if possible, is give you something that you're going to go back into your office and immediately use, and ideally something you can also use against your spouse if possible. So we have the objection cycle. The secret is, ladies, if you master the objection cycle, you can get your husbands to actually do as you ask. And then, guys, if you master the objection cycle, you still won't succeed. So the objection cycle is very simple. We agree but offer a new solution and ask again. Agree but offer a new solution and ask again. First thing we're going to do is we're going to agree with them. Then we're going to sort of say but, however. Then we're going to offer a new solution. Then we're going to AFT or after the order, ask again. So let me give you an example. If you ever feel like you're pushing someone, if you ever think you're being pressury, if you ever feel like you're just getting the sense that even though you meant no harm, they're a little bit taken aback by you. In doctors, I know you're always worried that a patient's going to feel that way, which is why it's hard for you to delegate things to your team members. Because you know you'll handle it right, but will they? It turns out you both sometimes do it right, sometimes wrong. The first thing to do is just regurgitate what they say back to them, so that they understand and feel heard. Something my wife has certainly told me several times is sometimes, John, I don't want shut up and listen to me. She tells me about a bad day or a frustrated client of hers, and I say, you know what would really work? She's like, no, just listen. So whenever I get an objection, I want to repeat it back. You know, John, I really got to tell you, one of the things that I'll need to do is definitely speak to my husband first. Okay, great. So if I understand correctly, you want to speak to your husband first? Uh-huh. Great. Okay, that makes sense. I can understand that you probably want to talk with him because it's a big decision. So you want to speak with him first, correct? Right. Whatever, I really need to think about it. Okay, great. So you need to think about it? Okay, sure. That makes sense. I just want to think about the big decision, so. You have to consult with your cat? Cat speaks? Okay. All right, so yeah, I can understand that. Talking to cat makes sense. I've never heard of it, but I respect that. They now feel heard. It makes sense to them. Now what we're going to do is give them a but or a however or address the issue. So I'm going to say something that's kind and respectful, but I'm going to say, okay, great, well, that certainly makes sense. Now, if I may, one thought, and we can now answer the objection, because they know they've been heard, so they're willing to listen to what you have to say. Because they're not saying no, they're saying, if you can overcome my objection, I'll buy. If you can make me not need to think about it, if you can somehow get me immediately approved on care credit, if you can somehow know my husband and be able to telepathically communicate to him and get approval, then I'll move forward. They're saying, if you can solve it, I'll do it. So give them a, one idea might be this. I totally understand what you're saying. Now, one thought that may help you to get a little closer is this. Then we're going to offer them the new solution. So we always have the solution. The problem is we immediately go for it. It's a little bit more than I thought, John, in terms of price. Well, we have care credit. Well, not only is that a little bit pushy and rude and a little abrasive, but a lot of times that's not really the solution if someone doesn't have money. We should be asking some discovery questions first before talking about a care credit. Well, great. So one thought, by the way, and you're how many years of age? If you don't mind me saying, like 18? Oh, you're 62. God, you look great. And do you happen to know if you have kind of an okay, decent credit score? Do a little trial close on, so go like, I went through a bankruptcy last year because the economy was tough and the housing market died and so on. Well, I don't want to say care credit because I'm going to make them feel bad because they know they've got a 0 score and there's no point even going down that path. I've got to be more creative. Maybe I have to go to cosigner. Maybe I have to talk about savings. Maybe I have to ask questions like, well, if you don't mind me being a little bit candid with you or a little bit, not being too forward, is it more a lack of the funds at this stage? You thought it's a little more than you thought? Or is it more just a matter of coming to terms to spend a little more for us? In other words, you have the money, but it's a little lack of comfort. It's this. Okay, great. We're now peeling back the layers of the cloud. Sometimes it's just one big cloud that goes away and there's a real objection. Other times we'll do the objection cycle 3 or 4 times. Now, once I've offered a new solution, and maybe it is something as simple as, did you know that we do offer some great finance plans? I know you mentioned you have an excellent credit score. You can finance just a portion of it if you like. Well, then we have an opportunity to still once again ask. If you don't ask for the order, you don't get. And ladies, how many times do you agree to go on a date with someone who's never asked you? Did you go on a date with Billy? No. Why? Never asked me. Makes sense. Well, no one's going to buy from you if you don't ask. So the asking can be very, very light. We don't care how you do it. But ask something to say, out of curiosity, based on that, is that something that might work for you, possibly maybe? Could that maybe be a solution for you? That could be. So use your objection cycle. Honey, what do you want to see tonight? Well, I want to see the new Counselor movie. It looks violent and awesome. Great. So you want to see Counselor then? Okay. Something we could do. But one of the things I was thinking is, you know how you've got a big crush on Jessica Biel? Well, she's in this wonderful romantic comedy that I'd like to see. And you'd be able to see Jessica Biel, and I'd be able to see something that I like. And I'll be nice to you the rest of the night. So what do you think? Would you like to do that? Yeah, we could do that. You want to see Jessica Biel? Well, sure. We can do that. That's something we could do. But I got to tell you, I've been waiting for this movie to come out for about 5 years, and we could do that nice little Italian place right next door because it's only playing at the Fancy Theater. I know you love the veal parmigiana. So you want to go ahead and do that? And then whoever stops first wins. In summary, I want to remind you guys to always return to the phone call. The reality is most of these objections should never occur. You heard my talk yesterday if you're doing a proper phone call. But the phone call itself has various objections throughout. You have to overcome one by one using your objection cycle. Let them know about the deposit in advance. Give them broad price ranges to weave them in. Build some urgency. Figure out their time frame in advance. Address care credit and other finance things over the phone. You'll do a lot better and be a lot happier. Use logic to attack a rational thought. Everything that we're doing in that objection cycle is just to help their mind think right and be logical. I'm doing Objections are answerable reasons why not. Make the answer palatable. Palatable is misspelled by using objection cycle. And although I do agree that it's misspelled, wouldn't you agree that it doesn't